Alright, so here we are at the Creation Museum in 10 minutes or less. Here's the outside of the museum. You can see some animals on display there, animal models, and before we actually go inside, we're going to take a brief trip outside through the garden. They've got a bridge going over the pond here. It's very peaceful and lovely. A bunch of kids everywhere, so picnic areas for people to eat lunch, some flowers growing, not quite a Garden of Eden, but, you know, it is pleasant. Definitely well worth the walk. And there's some large dinosaur topiaries, another bridge going across there where the kids are having quite a good time on it. And there's the view of the museum from over in the garden. And the large Tyrannosaurus topiary. Very scary, very frightening. And here we go down near the water for a closer view of the museum on the side. There's a little restaurant or cafe back there in the back. Very pleasant, very nice atmosphere back there. And now we're going to proceed along the edge of the pond way to the back. There's a nice little gazebo. Good size. I'm sure you could have a nice little party or wedding or something nice back there. Another view of the pond, long view of the pond, and the museum is back in the background. Those plants that you see along the pond are actually lotus blossoms. Quite an interesting choice for a Christian museum. Here we are inside. There's some bones, and this is where the science-y part of the exhibit begins. This is the main entrance. We've just passed inside of it. There's some fish in a little display there. There's a turtle. And in addition to those, of course, we have a dinosaur, animatronic, not actually alive, but of course it goes perfectly with the turtle and the fish. And the human, right there next to the dinosaur, having a grand old time. Doesn't seem a bit worried. And got a few animal species on display. We've got some finches here with some information about how they actually don't have anything to do with evolution. We've got some poison arrow frogs that are actually not an example of the destructive power of nature for some reason. We have a chameleon, which, well, that's just freaking cool. Chameleons are awesome. So kudos on the chameleon. And then we treated to a display of a fake paleontologist and his colleague. The older gentleman is a Christian. The Asian gentleman is not, and they both work with the same fossils but come to different conclusions. That's the basic thesis of that. And here we have another scary, scary dinosaur, but we're kind of out of the science-y part of it, and now we're just sort of being treated to a display of what happens when you believe in evolution. Apparently people get very upset and sad. And now we're we way past the creationist stuff, and we're being treated to all these biblical characters for some reason. The Word of God and all that. There's the Apostle Paul writing all of his highly entertaining letters. There's some people talking about Christianity and a number of displays about Christianity. display that shows us that we actually do have the actual Word of God. And now we're getting some scary stuff. There's the Scopes monkey trial. Charles Templeton denies his Christian faith. And now we're into the scary atheist part. This is what life is like for an atheist. This is what the world would be like if there was no God. Apparently, some bored teenagers in their rooms. I'm not exactly sure what that's supposed to accomplish. Just looks normal to me. They're kind of bored, but whatever. Now we're sort of going back in time, and some pretty posters of we see DNA and chromosomes and things here, which I'm not exactly sure are supposed to illustrate the majesty of God's creation, I suppose. And then here's a brief message of Ken Ham displaying his impeccable logic about the literal six-day creation. And smack dab in the Garden of Eden, there's Adam naming the animals. He's got a cute little lamb there in the crook of his arm. Very pleasant. There's a dinosaur of some sort in the Garden of Eden trying to eat a pineapple. Because we know dinosaurs did only eat fruit. There's the actual fruit of the tree of life. It's kind of like a mango, but there it is, the tree of life. If only he'd reached up and grabbed that one. And now Eve is in the picture, and they're having a little encounter there. And who is this guy? This character's up to no good, clearly. Not sure exactly what his role there is. All of a sudden, bad things happen. Dinosaurs go nuts and start killing each other, and then Noah has to build this big ark for some reason. And there's a bunch of guys sitting around. Apparently, it was a really popular hangout. They don't look like they're doing much, though. Just sort of every once in a while, this guy would comment on how crazy Noah was. Weird-looking animatronic there. And so now we're sort of into the mechanics of the Noah's Ark fiasco. All the people dying as the waters rise, and there's the Ark floating happily up there. Strangely enough, they argue that it was a wave crashing over, and here you see the wave about to crash over the Ark. Certainly something like that would destroy the thing. I'm not exactly sure if they thought of that. And the Bible actually says it rained, not that there was a huge tsunami, but it's all good. And now we're treated to some flood, quote-unquote, flood geology stuff. Here we've got the little horse thing that was taken on the ark, and somehow in only a couple thousand years evolved into the modern horse that we have today. Strangely enough. Faster than they would like to think that regular evolution took place, but that's okay. Here's a nice little thing advocating against racism, which is a decent enough message to bring out of this. Definitely appreciate that. And finally, we're treated to a movie, The Last Adam, talking about Jesus as the Messiah. On our way out, stop by some more dinosaurs. There's a Archaeopteryx looking like a scared turkey of some sort. Not exactly sure how accurate that is. And there's looks like a not quite life-size T-Rex. And a Triceratops skeleton. Pretty decent size. I don't know if it's real, probably not, but it looked nice at any rate. And some more dinosaurs here in a little side corner. On our way out, finally a little display about how actually dragons in legend were evidence that humans and dinosaurs lived together. And the bookstore, and we're on our way out, and we're home free in under 10 minutes. And that's the Creation Museum.